Like the title says, we're gonna be attempting, oh shit, I've gotten warped. We're gonna be attempting to make 500 horsepower on this Corvette. Got the mods for it. These are 1 7/8 long tube headers. Put those aside. Ugh. And we got this bad boy. This is Lsx Fast. Ooh, it's heavy as hell. 102 millimeter. And oh god. Ugh. So pair with that, we got this bad boy right here, which is 102 millimeters. Damn, it looks like it's, oh no, that'd be all right. Got 102 millimeters all around. Get all that air going through there, and yeah, it is computer actuated, so we're gonna have to figure out how to relearn this throttle body. It shouldn't be too difficult, or I could just get the tuner to do it. I don't know. So the science on these long tube headers is we got 1 7/8 diameter, which is an upgrade from the stock. I don't know what the stock was, but they're way smaller than this. Basically, it reduces back pressure and it increases volumetric efficiency. So if you guys don't know what that is, just do a quick search on Google. It's not that hard to understand. So now let's get into the intake manifold. This is the intake manifold, and it's 102 millimeters, which means this right here, this little intake area is 102 millimeters. It is cathedral port, which means, I don't know if you guys know what a cathedral church looks like, but that's basically what these runners are. Cathedral port. The functions of a bigger intake manifold is you can put more air into the engine, and with more air you can put more fuel, which means more air and more fuel means more combustion and more power. You guys couldn't find anything else to demonstrate it, but I found this little like shot glass or whatever it is in my kitchen, and this little tube right here. So basically this represents your intake manifold. You're breathing air through there, right? And this represents your exhaust, so you're breathing out through there, right? So let's say you're breathing air through here. It's very little air, you see a little diameter, and then you're exhausting it through this little tube, which is also a really small diameter, right? So you're breathing it through this, breathing out through that. See how small that is, right? You're basically drowning right there, right? A little air, and then you have a little pipe to exhaust all the air. You're gonna drown. Also, you're not gonna be able to run as fast because you can't get enough air, and you can't push out all that air. So you're not gonna run or sprint as fast as you can, obviously. Let's say you say, screw this, you know, I'm going to upgrade my intake manifold, which is a larger bore. And let me just put this in through here. All right, so let's say you want to upgrade your intake manifold. So now all of a sudden you're breathing in a bunch of air, but you're only exhausting a little bit of air through that little tube. So basically you're taking one big breath in and breathing out through that little tube. That's basically what the engine's doing right there. Now let's say you bought an intake manifold and decided to say, screw this, you know, I'm gonna run it with a larger exhaust bore or whatever you want to call it. So now you're breathing in a bunch of air and you're exhausting enough air to run faster. So that's basically what the engine is doing. It's breathing in a bunch of air from the intake manifold and exhausting it through the exhaust port. So basically you got an even flow through there, right? You're breathing in a bunch of air and then you're pushing it all out like a big breath, you know, like. So one thing I forgot to mention is this is basically the mouth, or whatever you want to call it, where you get your air. So you open the mouth, you get all that air. So you want to match this 102 millimeter with the diameter of the intake manifold. So you want to make sure those match. So if you get cathedral port smaller than our rectangle ports, so that has to do a lot. Also, if you want to make more power, you can just run some rectangle port heads, and yeah, obviously more air, more power. All right, without further adu, let's get these let's get them installed. I get a different pair of jeans because these are too nice to be rolling around in the dust. So let me see if I can do that little trick. What do they call it? Dude, I went through like 6 lips already. It's crazy. It's literally a what, 3-piece. I ain't spending 200 bucks on a freaking full one like that. Is our semi truck exhaust pipe. It's pretty big, huh? It's crazy. All right, put that back. Boy, if you don't get... We need some milk! You need to leave! Right, car's in here. I'm gonna put it on jack stands as the next step, and let's do it. You want to make sure your car is leveled. Mine, you can see it's a little bit lifted on the back, so I'm gonna go over there and drop that a little bit. It's not catching it, but it's a little bit slanted. No big deal. We should be good. We're gonna start from the bottom up. We're gonna take off that cat, or those two cats. And then I think we're gonna take the pipe over there off. It's called the H pipe. It's basically looks like this, and then it has a little connector thing. I mean, it just looks like this. It looks like an H basically. The tools I'm gonna go with gonna be a little extension, a little adapter, impact gun, deep sockets. Might need this, maybe a hammer to hammer it on there, or hammer it out of there. My bad. I take this little this freaking flashlight runs with batteries only. Honestly, I don't even know. Guys, here we are underneath the car. You see, you got to get that bolt right there and get that bolt right there. So this is what it looks like from my angle right here. You can see that. So it's very simple. Over there, there's two bolts on top of the exhaust manifold. Over there, another two, and then you have to pop these two out right here. That's the easy part. If these are ran, they will snap like that. Okay, so be careful with that. This one is so tight in here, so make sure you know how to maneuver yourself. Extremely tight in here. Hate working under these tight ass situations. The O2 sensor is still plugged in. I don't know if you guys can see that in the video, but oh fuck. Guys, so this is my view right here. We'll move back over to this side, and this side should be fairly easy. All you have to do is, so from what I see, we got a clamp right there on the left, clamp right there on the right, and then we got these little exhaust hangers. That's what it looks like to me. And yeah, things should start mellowing out over here. Should be start to get easier. Professional way to do it whatsoever, but since it's old stuff, it gets the job done. All right, guys, if you're anything like me and you put a bunch of fucking, what is that, gasket maker, just grab yourself a torch. Oh, this is what the old parts should look like. And here are the cats. If you're wondering why there's nothing in there, it's because I gutted the hell out of those. The next step is you're gonna take the exhaust manifold, which is pretty easy. You take that bolt, those bolts off. But first, you're gonna have to take off your wires, and then I would recommend to take off your spark plugs. Introduce yourself, bro. Who are you, bro? Who are you? Anyway, so on this side, we got these bolts, same thing. Just take off the wire, and you might have issues with the O2 sensor, but you can just drop it down, no big deal, and disconnect it. You'll be all right. All right, guys. So we're just gonna go ahead and do that. I'll update you as we go. What's up?
On the passenger side, you gotta remove this dipstick to get to the center, the two center bolts on the exhaust manifold. So it's a 15 mil.
big deal. Let's see.
Not bad looking.
Gonna keep going. Got Nick on that side. On this side. Alright guys, when you take your spark plugs out, always make sure do a visual inspection on them, see if you can use them again or not. But in this case, I needed to grab some new ones anyway. They look good, but we're gonna go ahead and swap them, get the best power out of that. Let's get back onto the time lapse. Guys, so this is what it looks like. And the header should just pop down. Side, you just pop it down. Just be careful with the starter. Don't want to hit anything. Or you could just disconnect the battery. This fucking idiot didn't do shit that nice. This is the driver's side. And as you can see, it doesn't got really good ports there. All of this restriction going in here through the catalytic converter, making it lose horsepower. So next thing you want to do is just take off the O2 sensor on both sides and you should be good to go. Some of you guys are beginners, you got to grab one of these tools. Everybody, now that we got both the headers off, stock headers, we're gonna go ahead and put on these right here. What do you say? Should we put them on from the top or the bottom?
Bottom.
All right, so we're gonna put them on from the bottom. I guess I'll just climb underneath. Oh boy.
Got mine in.
I got here. Oh shit. All right, now it's my turn, I guess. Oh, here we go. All right, this is gonna take two people. Nick's putting up the bolt. I'm just underneath here. You got it? Recommend two people for this, but hold it on there. Or the person down there, hold it up, then have somebody put a bolt here or something just to hold it on. And then, yeah, go ahead in there. On Nick's side, straightforward. Put the gasket on there like he has. Put a bolt in there. And then just start working at it. Pretty easy. I forgot to mention is, put some anti-seize in your bolts, because the ones that we had on there were very loose. So yeah, you don't want that falling off. I'm gonna put you on a time lapse. I'm gonna go ahead and put those bolts on with the gasket. Alright guys, so we got the bolts on and we got their spark plugs on. Don't forget to, what is that thing called again?
Dielectric grease.
Dielectric grease. Don't forget to put any of that on your new spark plugs. It's got the open header right there. That one's side's good to go. That means I think we have to fire it up. Next step is we're gonna arm the whole exhaust and we're gonna go all the way to the back, hook it up to the mufflers, and hopefully it's not as loud. We're gonna start making some progress, start hurrying up here. But we're gonna figure out how to properly hook these pipes up. They kind of just came here, not much instructions. So yeah, I'm gonna cut the video. I'm just gonna put on a time lapse, and I'll let you viewers kind of figure it out. Also, that's kind of the fun part of this stuff. So yeah, Nick's under there figuring shit out. Gonna hammer down the throttle and get this done in a couple hours. So
3 days later.
Guys, it's the next day and we did not hammer down on this. We had a little bit of issues trying to get the tailpipes to line up also. Got my coveralls on, got my beanie. Starting to look a bit too serious, but it was leaking a lot. So I recommend you should probably just weld these or use a little bit of gasket maker. That helped, that worked for me last time I put an exhaust on. Don't leak from anywhere.
1 eternity later.
All right, guys, we're about a week later, and this thing is sitting outside my driveway. So we ran into a bunch of issues with these pipes not lining up whatsoever. We're just gonna go take it to get welded so we don't have to deal with the headache of clamping all these freaking things on. So guys, I think that's a good place to end this video. And yeah, so stay tuned to the next video. We're gonna put the intake manifold on, and then yeah, we're gonna show you a little exhaust clip of this. We're gonna attempt to make 500 horsepower off this little 6.0 Ls2. And yeah, catch you guys later.